3, 2, 1.
This resource has been put together to further support those who are using number talks in their classrooms. It is recommended that you've undertaken training or carried out your own reading and research around the use of number talks. The document here looks specifically at the strategy bridging through a multiple of 10 or power of 10, and the numbers provided lend themselves to this strategy. However, it will not always be the most efficient strategy or the strategy that pupils use to solve the problems. Other strategies should be valued and discussed, exploring ideas around flexibility, efficiency, and misconceptions. The second slide provides an overview of the different areas contained within this resource, and we'll look at each of those in turn here. You can click on each individual area and it will take you to that section. The first of these provides links to the clip you're watching here, and which gives an overview of how to use this resource. The general information is a quick recap of the main points to consider when using or implementing number talks. The information spans 5 slides. The overview of the strategy gives an outline of what the strategy is, in this case bridging through a multiple of 10, and the numbers that lend themselves to it in the context of both addition and subtraction. A third slide has been put in with guidance around the idea that with particular numbers, other strategies may be more efficient. The next section gives a progression of number ranges. If, for example, you were focusing around the 2-digit plus or minus a 2-digit range with your class, you may wish to use some examples from this resource that lend themselves to bridging through 10. Following on from this, rather than moving on to the next number range, pupils may be provided with other problems that perhaps lend themselves more to other strategies, such as rounding and compensating, or doubles and near doubles, but still within the 2-digit plus or minus 2-digit range, rather than rapidly moving on to another number range before developing a deeper understanding at that initial number range. The section on example recording strategies serves 2 purposes. The first is to show a range of ideas of recording pupil strategies beyond just numbers alone. This may help some pupils make more sense of other pupil strategies. Examples include number lines, empty number lines, part-whole models, which can also include bar models. The second purpose is to show that for a given problem, in this case 6 plus 7, there are different ways of recording the strategies that pupils may put forward. Consider yourself why you might use one visual rather than another, and how different visuals support different aspects of understanding. There are several examples to help you get a broad overview. You can look at these in more detail using the resource. There's also information from a professional development point of view around developing an understanding for teachers, and ultimately then for pupils, of certain properties of addition and subtraction, including the commutative property and the associative property. The next section includes sample questions that the teacher could use to probe understanding, and that over time you would want pupils to start using so that they start a dialogue between themselves rather than a back and forth conversation between pupil and teacher. Example of question stems that could be gradually introduced to pupils through think, pair, share activities has also been provided. These could be built up over time and adapted depending on the pupils you're working with. That provides an overview of the first part of this resource, the majority of which is applicable to other addition and subtraction strategies, not just bridging through a multiple of 10, and in some cases is applicable to other areas too, such as multiplication and division. The next video will explore the structure of this resource in terms of the type of problems that could be presented to pupils.